ಬಾಕಿ ಕಾಲ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತಿಲ್ರಿ.
Okay. Let us start anyway. Hmm? Good morning, friends. Today, let us have a discussion on trends. Okay, trends of data warehousing. Trends of data warehousing. So, before starting trends of data warehousing, how this data warehousing is becoming mainstream. Okay, it is becoming mainstream. Okay, it is coming up front. Got it? Keeping all the things behind. Okay, why it is coming? How it is becoming a mainstream? Got it? Because of these two things, a data warehouse expansion and a vendor solutions and products. Okay, see, by providing these two things, okay, and many more also, it is becoming a mainstream. So let me explain data warehouse expansion. See here now, earlier data warehouses concentrated on keeping summary data for high level analysis. Earlier data warehouses only they were concentrated on keeping the summarized data, not all the data are kept for analysis, only summarized data were kept for high level analysis. When you take a limited amount of data for analysis, what happens? You will not get the exact accurate results. If you take a summarized data, I'll tell you one example. Before going for the election, okay, what they do, some agencies will be there. Those agencies, CNN, forecasting, they will do it, no? What do you call it as? What it is called? They will tell that immediately after the voting, they will tell that probably BJP will get this much of seats and this will get this much of seats. They will give you the details. Predictions, they do predictions. How do they predictions? They are the agencies. What they are going to do? In particular constituency, they take some samples, like in city, they will going to ask or take the information from 100 or 200 people, and some rural areas, they took information from rural people, which party will going to win, why it is winning, and what is the result for this person, how he worked and how. So based on these things, okay, like this, they take few samples, and based on those few samples, they are going to predict. They analyze the things and predict for the future result. Okay, so when you take a sample, limited amount of sample, instead of taking 100 people at city level and 100 people at rural level, instead of that, if they take, got it, thousands, 10,000s of people, the samples of the 10th, more than 10,000, okay, more number, okay, then if they make an analysis of those all bigger numbers, large amount of data, and they can predict it. So that predict is very near to result when you take a large amount of data and you can plan for the future. Here in this, a limited amount of data when you take, okay, you'll get chances of winning or losing. Got it? So, in the earlier data warehouses were concentrated on keeping the summarized data for high level analysis. High level analysis. But now companies have a ability to capture. Now these warehouses are earlier those warehouses data warehouses were used for few elements or few summarized data were kept for high level analysis. Now these data warehouses have built companies have built a big warehouses which are having the ability to capture all kinds of data, which are able to capture all kinds of data, and they are able to clean the data, and they also maintain the data, and also use vast amounts of data generated by their business transactions. See here now. Nowadays, data warehouses are able to clean, they are able to capture all kinds of data, and they are able to maintain those data. Okay, and vast amount of data generated by their business transactions are taken for business analysis. See, earlier only few summarized data were used for data analysis, okay, high level analysis. Now, along with those high level analysis, okay, how much of data you consider? Vast amount of data. Okay, along with that, you can take many amount data types of data. Okay, it can clean the data, it can maintain the data. All these things can be done because of these things. Okay, because of these features, because of these characteristics of a data warehouse. Okay, data warehouse is becoming a mainstream. It's becoming a mainstream. Got it? Second one, vendor solutions and products. See here now. Now, this data warehouse is providing many solutions for the vendors. There are so many solutions they are providing for each and everything. They are providing the solutions, and for each and every product, okay, they are providing the solutions. Examples in the earlier solutions and all those things, state of flux, we can call it as, okay, they were in the state of confusion. Confusing definitions were there. Okay, how the data should be stored. Okay, how it should be extracted. Okay, what should be the result, how to analyze this. These were the confusions were there in the earlier. Then vendors hype, there were vendors whether we get the things or not, okay, whether it is saved or we're going to reach the target. There are so many things. Total lack of standards. There were no standards at all. Some will be saying that this is the standard format for storing, this is the standard format for storing. Okay, no, it is not that. This is how we need to store. No, these are all, they were in the state of lack of standards. They were all there in the confusion states. Now, because of this data warehouse, all the vendors got the solutions for all their problems and for their products. Now they are having vendor acquisitions. We are having new OLAP tools for analysis. Now our data warehouse is supporting for large data warehouses. These are all new technologies will support for large data warehouse. Nowadays we are having a web enabled solutions. Web enabled solutions. See here now, we are all getting the data from the webs, like Facebook, Twitter, etc. They are getting all the information. product sophistications. Okay, all these things are the products and vendor solutions. Because of these things, data warehouse is becoming a mainstream. Which are the main two causes? Data warehouse expansion and data warehouse solutions and products. Vendor solutions and products. These two are the mainstreams, reasons, okay, why data warehouse is becoming a mainstream. Hope you understood. Is there any doubt, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, which are the significant trends? Why this is more popular? Because of these significant trends in the data warehouse. You keep these things and it can be asked for your examination also. Which are the significant or explain significant trends in data warehouse? Alright, so see here now, let me read out the trends of data warehouse, significant trends of data warehouse. Along with this, there are so many, just I have listed out a few of them. First one is multiple data types. Second one is data visualization. Then parallel processing, query tools, browser tools, data fusion, multidimensional analysis, agent technology, data warehousing and ERP means enterprise resource planning. For your entire enterprise or a company, you can plan for the resources. How the efficient use of the resources can be planned in your enterprise. That is also one of the trends in the data warehouse. And data warehousing and knowledge management. Data warehousing and knowledge management, KM. And CRM. Okay, data warehousing and CRM. There are so many things. These are the significant trends in the data warehouse. Now, what is this multiple data types? What is this multiple data types? The earlier data warehouse, you may just include the numeric data. In the earlier data warehouse, just you used to include or insert or you store only numeric data. But soon you will realize that including the structured numeric data alone is not enough. See, I am storing all the numeric values, your roll number, your percentage, your contact number, only numerics. Okay, think that you are storing all the information in the form of tables, but later you realize that these are not sufficient. Only storing the numeric values is not sufficient. Okay, when you realize that, you prepare to consider other data types as well. Companies include structured data, mostly numeric, in their data warehouse. From this point of view, decision support systems were divided into what do you call it as data warehousing dealt with structured data. Knowledge management includes the unstructured data. It means you have stored the numeric values. Structured values, structured in the means in the form of tables. But when you store all these structured values or numeric values in the data warehouse, but at the output side, at the other side, okay, those who are analyzing the data and those who are making the decisions based on the analysis. Some people need structured data, some people need unstructured data in the form of graphics, in the form of graphs. This distinction is being blurred, means it's made confused. Got it? For example, most marketing data consists of structured data in the form of numeric values. What is the total sale and total amount, okay, and so on. Only numeric values. Got it? So, marketing data consists of unstructured. What is this distinction? Is marketing data consists of structured data in the form of numeric values. Marketing data also contains unstructured data in the form of images. See here now, some marketing analysis will be having images. How to store it? It is not a structured value. It is unstructured. It is not a numeric. It is an image, JPG, and other formats of image. Got it? Let us say decision maker is performing an analysis to find top selling product style, means they want to analyze it. Their analysis may be required. Let me show you here in this. Okay, in this, see here now, here input is for, this is the data warehouse. In this data warehouse we are storing all structured numbers, numeric values. Okay, what we are storing? We are storing this numeric values in this data warehouse. When you store these data values in this data warehouse in the form of table or anything, okay, but how you need, because the data which is there in this data warehouse is used for analysis, high level analysis. High level analysis, they take some tables in the form of structured data, some will be taking in the form of this kind of chart. Okay, some people they need for analysis, they need pie chart. Okay, some people may require vertical, the bars chart. Got it? They need this kind of trends. Got it? They need this kinds of chart. There are so many horizontal charts and this kinds of charts. They need in this format. Okay, which is unstructured data, but you have stored this, but you need this. Got it? In earlier data warehouses we were having only these things, only we stored this, but I want to store some images also. I want to store some unstructured data in this data warehouse. Okay, so but in earlier data warehouse which supports only numeric values, it will not going to support any videos for storing or images for storing or audio for storing any other thing. Got it? So friends, because of these requirements, data warehouse started including the storing of multiple data types. See here now, in this data warehouse, now data warehouse is having the trend saying that all this thing, because it is storing or it is able to store all kinds of data. All kinds of data is, one is you can store audios, you can store videos, you can store spatial information, geographical information, piece of information. Got it? And you can store images, and you can store structured numeric values. Structured numeric values means in the form of rows and columns. Okay, you can store structured text. You can store structured text so that it will be having again rows and columns, these many rows and these many columns. And you can store also unstructured document in the form of paragraph or in the form of other things. Got it? So all these things can be stored in a data warehouse in nowadays. Nowadays you are able to store all kinds of these things. Hope you clear. So this is one trend. This is one trend which you can support it in this. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No doubt. Okay. Now, next one is, let me explain, go back for this visualization. Data visualization is the next trend, is data visualization. When a user queries means you give some you want to extract some values from the data warehouse, so you will put a queries. When user queries your data warehouse, and expect to see results only in the form of output lists or a spreadsheet, or data warehouse is already outdated. Means when I want to see the information of the result of a student database in the data warehouse, okay, all the student things will be there. I want to know the first top 3 students of the data warehouse. I need in the form of graph, okay, in their individual subject and their marks in that particular subject. Got it? I need 3 students, such 3 students information. One who is having the first, one who is having the second, and one who is having third place. Okay, and their respective subject marks, so that I will come to know why this second rank student have lost the first rank, and I want to know why this third rank students got lost his second rank. Got it? So if it is not supporting, your data warehouse output is not supporting that kind of thing, then your data warehouse is outdated. Whatever the query I am going to give, it has to give as per the user requirements. You should get the result. If you need in the form of Excel sheet, yes, it should be in the form of Excel sheet. If you need in the form of table, you should get it in the form of table. You need the information in the form of graph, you should get it in the graph. That day, in the previous 15 days before, I sent a screenshot of my daily walking. Got it? As a data analysis, the information between the data and the analysis. See here now, once the data is given, it has given the output saying that, okay, usually you walk less than the everyday at this point of time. This is an information. See, it is giving the data or a result in the form of unstructured data, and there was a graph also. Graph is, again, it is a unstructured data, whether you can go for this and you can go for that. Got it? So this is, you are not outdated. Got it? When as per the user requirement, you should give the result. Visualization of data in the result sets boosts the process of analysis for the user. So by seeing that, we will come to know, yes, exactly, yes, I walked less than the previous week. I walked more, so that I will make my mind, so that I will come to conclusion, yes, if it is showing that you walked more than the usual timing, Okay, so I'll be happy and I'll think of next. Yes, daily I'll need to maintain this much. If the result is, or the if the output is, it is saying that you walked less than the last week, then I have to plan. Then I'm going to make a plan for the next thing. Got it? Saying that I need to walk 1 more kilometer. Okay, every day more than the last week, or more than what I walked today. So see, these are all the plans we can take it by seeing the outputs. Okay, by visualizing the output. Got it? So a data visualization helps the user to interpret queries result quickly and easily. Major visualization trends are there, like more chart types. Okay, more chart types, more interact visualization will be there. Visualization of complex and large sets. See here now. Major chart type, as we have seen here, now we are seeing the result in the chart type. So see here now, assume that this is the graph. I am taking this graph, all of you look into this. Now this is the result of BCS, this is the result of mechanical, this is the result of MCA, and this is the result of the electrical. So by looking at this, okay, by looking at this, which department is doing good, which department is performing good in the academics, we can analyze it within 2 minutes of time. If the same thing, if I give the information in the form of table, okay, this is the table for electrical, okay, this is the table for, another table is given for MCA, and another table is given for, what is that, mechanical, and another table is given for electrical, like this. See, if you need to analyze all those, obviously you can come to conclusion here also, but looking at these tables and come to the conclusion, and looking at this and come to the conclusion, which is easier, which is more realistic in the visualization. So images give a more visualization. Got it? So it is an impact. Got it? So this plays very important role. So more visualization in more charts, most data visualizations are in the form of some standard charts type. It could be a bar chart, it could be a pie chart, or it could be vertical graph, horizontal graph. So pie chart, okay, these kinds of chart where there are various types of charts. This plays very important role in the visualization of trends. You are here because of it supports, data warehouse supports all kinds of these things. That's why it has become a trend in the data warehouse. That's why it is more popular. Got it? And second one is interactive visualization. In the interactive visualizations are no longer static, means these visualization should be dynamic. See, now if this is the, assume that this is the table, assume that this is the table. Now for this we are having a, assume that this is the graph. Now assume that this is the graph. Now it is like this, trend is like this, okay, like. Now as the time passes, okay, I am keep on adding the data to this, or I am updating the data to this table. Okay, this table is there in the data warehouse now. Okay, as I enter the values to this, so it has to give its trend. It has to show the things. Okay, it should not be. It should not become the static. It should not stop it. It should not looks like an image. Okay, it should be a dynamic image. So as I keep on adding the values, it should grow as per the values inserted in the table. Okay, if you suddenly assume that it is a 10, that's why it is showing less here. Okay, if you make it 100, okay, so it should go like this. So because it should be dynamic, your users can review the results, charts, manipulate it, and then see, never views the online. Okay, so it should be more interactive. And visualization of the complex and large result sets. See here now, visualization of large data sets. See here now, how this visualization is changing. Now, earlier there were static. It was a static. It gone static into a dynamic visualization. Static into dynamic visualization. See here now, printed reports. Is it, once you take the printout, will it be a dynamic? No. Whatever it is, it will be there. You need to see it. Okay. Then comes online displays. So the results are displayed online. Then basic interactions. Okay, the basic interactions are added into it. And drill down. Okay, drill down means you can go in depth and see the results. And advanced interactions and visual queries, so that you can put the queries and get the result. See here now, this is how static to visualization took place. Now here, earlier there were only small amount of data was there. Now we are having large into complex amount of data. Earlier data were less in number. Okay, now from less number to large number. Now large number into complex number, it has increased. Got it? So as the time passes, it was small to complex and static to dynamic. Got it? Now we are having the complex amount of data. We are having more number of data structures, and we are having dynamic visualization. See here now, earlier we used to have a basic charting. Now that charting is come into presentation of graphics. Okay, now embedded charting, now enterprise charting system. We are having some software for those things. Okay, now scientific chart types. There are different types of scientific chart types. Okay, then we have a multiple link charts. Okay, you can combine the multiple charts, one chart into another chart. This is called as linking, is nothing but a fusion. If you take a charts, it is grown in this way. Visualization has changed this trend. Okay, from basic thing to this multiple linking of the charts, not a tables, linking of charts. Now, if you, with respect to simple numeric series, okay, earlier we used to have like this numeric series. Okay, this is the serial number 1 and this marks is 50, like this 60, then 2 and this. These are the numeric series. Now those numeric series are changed into multi-dimensional data series like tables and others. Then real-time data field. Now you are all doing what we are doing. So whenever we go for the valuation of your papers, what we do? We evaluate the paper there only which appears on the screen, and we enter the values directly into the data warehouse or its database. Real time. What it? Real time data field. Then we are having the massive data sets. We have real time data field and we have massive data sets. Massive means large amount of data sets will be there. Then unstructured data sets will be there, and numeral data sets. These are all the things can be converted into numeral now. So this is how from simple numeric series into numeral data, how it is transferred. Okay, trend is changed from basic thing to a visual dynamic visualization, a basic chart into multiple link charts, and basic numeral series into a numeral data. Okay, how the small data are changed into a complex structures. These are what are trends in the visualization. Hope it is clear in the visualization part, I hope. Okay, then is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, now comes, there is no slide, let me explain here only. Now parallel processing. What is time now? Okay, another 13 minutes,
11:50.
15 minutes. You know that data warehouse is user centric and query intensive environment. Users will constantly be executing a complex queries to perform all types of analysis. The functions for which a performance is crucial are functions of loading a data and creating indexes. See here now, multiple things. Parallel processing. Parallel means simultaneously while doing set of things. We are adding these things, we are retrieving these things. Okay, so multiple things can be done. What it? Loading, extracting and transforming, all the things can be done at a same point of time. Because of large numbers of indexes, index creation could also be slow. Because large amount of data will be there, you need to give the indexes for those. How do you speed up the query processing, data loading and index creation? How we need to make it faster? Which are those? Query processing should be done faster and data loading should be done faster, and indexing the index creation should be made faster for searching purpose. A very effective way to do accomplish this is to use parallel processing. Both hardware configurations and the software techniques go hand by hand. Means your hardwares and software should go in hand in hand. Hand by hand means if software is outdated and all the hardwares are higher end, then also it is not possible. If your hardwares are older versions, outdated, and the software is recent with the recent technology, with the recent trends, then also it is not possible. It should grow hardwares and software by hand by hand. Got it? So a very effective way to do accomplish this is to use a parallel processing. Okay, because of this we used to have a parallel processing. Both hardware configuration and software techniques go hand in hand to accomplish this parallel processing. This task is divided into smaller units, and these smaller units are executed concurrently. Okay, so it is divided into number of small things, and these smaller parts will be executed concurrently, one by one by one. Okay, so we'll feel that these things are doing parallelly, and because of these things, the indexing, loading, and other things can be done faster, can be done faster. Now, next is query tools. See, as we know that huge amount of data will be there, complex data will be there in the data warehouse. Yesterday we have seen only 5 simple tables. Those 5 simple tables are how they are interrelated, how they are integrated. We have seen 5 simple tables. Okay, student table is interlinked with this branch table. Okay, then borrow table is also linked with the student as well as branch table, and author table is linked with the book table, and book is also linked with the other tables. See here now, all the 5 tables are interlinked. Now you have not understood, still we have not executed any of the queries of the previous lab, yesterday's lab. Okay, when we in the next Thursday we are going to execute some of the programs, few programs, so that you can understand how these tables are interlinked, and how these inserting the values or loading the values or getting the values from these 5 tables is becoming complex. For those things we are going to write the queries. In our database, how many tables are there? Only 5 tables are there. Which are those? Student table, then branch table, and book table, author table, and borrow table. Got it? These are the 5 tables we have. So coming Thursday you will come to know how to write the queries for to extract the data from various tables. Got it? But data warehouse is having complex data. Huge data is stored in that. Huge number of tables. Got it? So, can you imagine? You take an example of the data warehouse of all the universities. Now we are having the common university data warehouse where all the universities are connected to this. All the universities are connected to this data warehouse. Either it could be Rani Chennamma University, VTU, then what is that? KUD, Mysore University, Davangere University, Ballari University, so on. All the universities, all their information is dumped into this. And how many course tables will be there, how many branch tables will be there, how many this students will be there in those, and there are so many tables, and how obviously all those tables are connected. Obviously all those tables are connected. Now can you imagine the complexity of that? For those complex database, we need to write the queries to extract the information, to extract the knowledge. Got it? Those extractions should be quicker. It should be like this. It should be faster. We should extract exact information within no time. That's why we are having so many query tools. Using with the help of these query tools, we are able to do all those things in this. Got it? So This is what the query tools. This is also one of the trend. Earlier, queries were only restricted to few tables. Now, browser tools. We do have a browser tools which can browse the data. Now we are having the browsers. Okay, through those browsers, we are inserting the values. We are extracting the. If you take an example of the Facebook, got it? With the help of this browser, we are storing all our information. We are extracting the information. Okay, I have one who is a friend of mine. I can see his and his friends, so on. It's a network. Okay, so easily we can extract the informations. This also done. It is also a new trend in the data warehouse. Next comes data fusion. Data fusion. Fusion means combining, linking. So multiple data can be linked. Multiple tables can be linked. Multiple data warehouses can be linked. All the data marts are linked to form a data warehouse. Right? So many things can be fused. This is again every MCA is having a separate data mart, and ENC is having a separate data mart, and CS is having a separate data marts. When you construct a data warehouse where all these data marts are fused, combined, and stored all the information in the data warehouse. Multi-dimensional analysis. Analysis is done at the various dimensions. Best example is data cube. Okay, if all of you have seen the cube, okay, in that data cube, if you see it one side, okay, so all of your that cubes you purchased for playing purpose, for the sake of time pass. Okay, see in that one side all complete red color, another side yellow, another side blue, and another side green. Like this it will be there. Okay, in the same way, if you take a data cubes, okay, if you see it one side, you will get all the results of all the colleges. If you see it one side, you will see other details of the information, all the branches information. Okay, if you see it another side, you will get a different information. If you see it from the another side of the cube, okay, you will get again different information. So multiple datas, multiple views, we can get it from the multi-dimensional analysis. You cannot only analysis with the help of results can be analyzed with the help of multi-dimensional. In earlier we used to have a two-dimensional, okay, tables, but now we have data cubes. That we will go to study in detail about those things in the later classes. Multi-dimensional views can be seen. It is what data cubes plays very important role in data analysis. Okay, it is called as multi-dimensional analysis. Next is agent technology. Agent technology, there are some agents, softwares which acts as an agent. Now you need not to do anything. Okay, therefore some earlier days, okay, there were some middlemen who acts as an agent between the vendor and this. Nowadays softwares acts as an agent. Okay, that kind of technology we are having, that is also used in data warehouse. Got it? Now data warehousing and ERP. Data warehousing and ERP. ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. Okay, see, entire organization, there are so many resources. Resources in the form of employee, human resource, okay, other materials, machines, okay, or computers. See here now, how many students are there? Only 8 students are there in our MCA branch. For this, our branch, if you prepared a lab for 100 machines, can those 100 machines utilized properly? No, it is a waste of resource. Actually, we need one classroom. If you reserve 3 classroom for us, then it's a waste of resource. We need 3 lectures for conducting all the classes. If you take 6 lectures at this point of time, no, it's a waste of resource. For next semester, because you will be at the 3rd semester and your juniors will be at the 1st semester, so we need a resource, more resource. That time you can utilize them, you can hire them. Got it? So this is how proper planning should be done for resourcing, for plan for entire utilization of the resource in the organization. So we are having the ERP softwares and we are having the data warehouse. These two are working together. Okay, data warehouse is also used for this ERP. Got it? And one more, data warehousing and knowledge management. Already you know what is knowledge management, the information. Okay, after the information, okay, so we got some analysis. After analysis, we got some information. After that information, we got a knowledge. What is that knowledge? Yes, these are the people who got the result, highest result. Why they got the result? And because what was their internal marks? Based on these things, we got the result. Yes, because of this, these 2 students got highest marks. And based on this knowledge management, we can take some action for the future. Got it? So data warehousing and knowledge management, also it is one of the trend in the market, in the data warehousing. So these are few significant trends of the data warehouse. So is there any doubts over here in the data warehouse trends, significant trends of data warehouse?
No, sir.
No doubt. Okay, see guys, let